Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm here. I am your lone Wafoosel, and I am here to make some noise, curate some court cases on yet another Saturday. Today we have a set of... Well, actually, today we pretty much just have Fleischer and Perkins. It's what it is, right? I've set up pretty much. Fleischer is kind of a review of a lot of. I'm not going to say all of yesterday's cases from his Friday docket, but it's a good portion of them, and quite a few of them I didn't actually get to see, or I didn't get to see how they finished up. I was busy during the day, and although I was in and out of the chat and kind of, trying to pay as much attention as I could, things just wouldn't let me pay as much attention as I liked. We're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm just going to sit here talking to myself. And I'm just going to say good morning to everybody, or good day, good midday, good evening, hello. The second case that we have after the Fleischer set of cases, the Fleischer docket, is going to be something that maybe a lot of you have seen already. It was a Perkins case that happened yesterday that seemed to have quite a bit of more Citery involved. So we're going to go ahead and get started. No reason to beat around the bush. I present Judge Fleischer's docket from yesterday. I think, if I did things right. Oh my word, that looks horrible. What has happened? Okay. Everybody calm down. I realize everybody's used to me being complete and utter computer genius, so these things don't happen to me. Ever. Right?
Was it last Spanish? Hi, you ready? Good morning.
I'm here on arraignment on Cynthia Jimenez.
I'm Brandon.
Jimenez, come on up.
Are you Cynthia Jimenez? Ms. Jimenez, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Please don't say anything. Okay.
On June 28th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a target regarding a theft. The complaining witness advised that the defendant entered the store, but put merchandise in the shopping cart and went to the self-checkout, failed to pay for the merchandise, and proceeded to exit the store, passing all points of sale with the unpaid merchandise. The total value was $106.65.
Was she alone? Was she with anyone? By herself? Got it. Ms. Jimenez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to go to any Target whatsoever. Do you understand, ma'am? If I find that you go to Target, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You have a lawyer. She will take care of the case for you. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games and ducking and dodging phone calls, likewise, I will issue a warrant. I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time and come into court, and she will tell you when you have to come back. Just stay in contact with her. Good things will happen there. For now, I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll have you take your seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. Okay, thank you.
Right this way.
Judge, I love your jacket.
Thank you.
Judge, we have one more Spanish speaker.
You lied.
I do that sometimes.
No, that was my fault.
Lies, and taxes.
Page
Lies.
3, Canales, come on up. All right, so listen.
Señor, me llamo Luis, el intérprete, mucho gusto.
Anelas Villatoro. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent.
We're in the court, it's too loud.
anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
I already have an attorney.
Great. Is it?
¿Quién es? Solo mira el juez, hermanito.
José García, pero dijo que,
José
no,
García,
dijo que iba a venir acá, no, que me dieran otra corte que me iba a presentar.
otra fecha. Okay, he told me to ask for another date so I could represent
Es
myself.
que ayer fue de vacación y viene hasta viernes.
Okay, yesterday was a vacation day and he doesn't return until, ¿cuándo vuelve él?
Cuando me den otra cita, no sé qué.
Okay, whenever he returns, I'm not sure whatever date.
Going to do
Le
probable
vamos a hacer
cause.
cosas
Please
razonables.
don't say
Por
anything at
favor,
this
no diga
moment.
nada
sir.
durante esta fase.
Perfecto.
Okay.
Perfect.
On June 26,
El 26 de junio
2024,
2024,
officers responded to a disturbance call
llamado
at a
de
food bank in
disturbio
Harris
a un
County,
banco de comida
Texas.
del condado de Harris, Texas.
Dispatch provided the
El
vehicle
despacho
description
dio la
of the
descripción del
defendant,
vehículo del
who was
acusado
stated to have
que
a
se declaró
firearm and be under the influence of
que tenía un
alcohol.
arma de fuego supuestamente y estaba bajo la influencia de alcohol. Espera, ¿qué?
The dispatch said,
El
gave
despacho
the
dijo,
vehicle
dio la
description
descripción
and
del
was also
vehículo y
told by the
también se le
caller that
informaron
he
por
had a
el llamador que
firearm
él
and
tenía
was
un
under
arma
the
de fuego y
influence
estaba
of
bajo la
alcohol.
influencia de alcohol.
Okay.
No.
The defendant was parked.
Stop.
Pare.
The defendant was found to be
acusado se le
parked at the
encontró
Chevron gas
Estacionado
station.
en la gasolinera de Chevron.
Upon search, there was no
Al hacer un
weapons
registro,
inside the
no
vehicle,
había
and the
armas dentro del vehículo.
defendant was then
El
asked to
acusado se
exit
le
the
pidió que
vehicle
se saliera del
and was
vehículo
asked if he
y se le
consumed
pidió
any
que se le
alcohol.
preguntó que si consumió algo de alcohol.
The defendant
El
stated he
acusado
had two
declaró
beers
que
earlier.
consumó 2 cervezas temprano.
Officers observed
Oficiales
the
observaron
defendant to
que el
have
acusado
glossy
tenía
eyes
ojos
and a
muy
mild
rojos,
odor of alcohol beverage on the breath. The officers
El oficial
did locate a six-pack of
sí
Modelo
localizaron
beers on the
una
passenger side
parte de 6
floorboard
modelos, cervezas modelos en la parte trasera del
with 3
vehículo,
empty
con
bottles
3 botellas vacías
back in the cardboard container.
todavía puesto en contenedor de papel.
Standard
de
field
cartón.
sobriety
El
test
estudio
was
de terreno se
conducted,
realizaron
6 of 6
6
on
de
the
6 pistas en el
HGN,
extremo
3 of
horizontal,
8 on the
3 de
walk
8
and
pistas en
turn,
camino
and
giro
1 of 4
y 1
on
de
the
4
one leg
pistas en el paro
stand.
de una pierna.
DIC was read
Advertencia
and the
secundaria se
defendant
leyó y el
consented
acusado
to
dio
breath,
consentimiento a prueba
but
de aliento,
refused to sign the
pero se
document.
rehusó firmar el documento.
The defendant complied with the breath
El
request
acusado,
on the intoxilizer, but while attempting his
I'm
second
sorry.
breath,
I'm so sorry to interrupt the defendant. What? The intoxicalizer, what?
the defendant
El acusado,
complied
cumplió. Thank you.
with a breath request on
Con
the
el pedido de
intoxilizer,
aliento sobre el alcoholímetro,
but while attempting
pero
his
mientras
second breath,
intentando su segundo
the machine
prueba de
stopped
aliento, la
and gave
máquina
a
paró
reading
y
of
dio una lectura
interferent
de
detected.
interferencia detectada.
Officer
El
requested a
oficial
sample of
pidió
blood from the
una muestra de
defendant, to
sangre
which
del
he
acusado, de
refused,
la cual él se rehusó.
and blood was
Y
taken
sangre
pursuant to a
fue
warrant.
traída de acuerdo a una
Did you
orden
say that he was driving?
por extracción de sangre.
He
Usted
was
dijo que
found
estaba
at the
manejando, se
Chevron
le
gas
encontró en la
station
gasolinera de
with the
Chevron
engine running,
con el motor
and
prendido.
yes. So when officers
Entonces,
made
cuando los
contact, he
oficiales
was
hicieron
found in the
contacto,
driver's
se le
seat,
encontró
engine
en el
running at
centro
the
del
gas
chofer
station near
el
that
motor
food bank.
prendido en la
Does anyone see
gasolinera.
him driving?
Alguien lo
We
vio.
have is him sitting at, I mean, we don't have anyone that sees him driving, right? All you have a caller that says there's a guy with a gun and alcohol, and the cops get to him and he's just sitting at a gas station.
He was at
Estaba en la
the food
gasolinera.
bank,
Él
and
estaba
then
en el
in the
banco
same
de
area, he
comida
was
y la
found
misma
at the
vez se
gas
encontró
station
en
near
la
the food
gasolinera
bank,
cerca del
and
banco de comida
with the engine
con el
running,
motor
which
prendido,
operating a vehicle,
operando un
the
vehículo.
engine can be running,
El
and it
motor
can be
puede
inferred
estar
from him
Anyone
getting.
that's
prendido, no sé si es
driving, that sees him driving? Do you have a witness?
¿Hay un testigo?
No, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
Let's do this. I'm gonna have you just take a seat in the jury box. I'm not ready to rule on this yet. We need to do a deeper dive on the case, sir. Just grab your stuff and just head there for now.
A la derecha, se sienta ahí. Sí, sí.
We're gonna have to do a deeper dive on that one.
Right now, it's not 100. I know.
You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Page 4, Castillo, come on up.
Are you Diana Castillo? Ms. Castillo, you're charged with assault bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, ma'am. Okay.
The complaining witness reported that her vehicle struck the rear end of the defendant's vehicle while exiting a parking lot. The complainant stated that the defendant exited her vehicle and dragged the complainant from her vehicle from the driver's seat window and began hitting her in the face and body with a closed fist, causing pain.
So pursuant to a car accident.
I'm sorry.
Pursuant to a car accident, right? You said? Okay. Ms. Castillo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, ma'am? You're 19? What do you do in life now? Did you graduate from high school? If I drug test you right now, what's going to show up? Okay, I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test right now, and then you're to come back, and then we're going to speak about it. Well, first off, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a Texas driver license, ma'am? Okay, do you have liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
Before you drive and before you get out of here, I want to know and I want to see that you have actual insurance in your name. For now, I'm going to send you for a drug test and you must come back, and then we'll talk about a lawyer situation for you. Tracy, do you mind sending her? You want her to come sign something with you now,
Yes.
Victoria? For now, I'm going to have you sign a reset and then you must come back, ma'am.
Page 4, Celestino, come on up.
Do you have access to see, is Logan here?
He's watching from his phone. I don't know if he's trying to leave it on this.
Are you able to see if she has a license or no?
This one.
No,
Her.
Ms. Castillo, yeah. Do you have access to the,
I can't run it, but it does say she has a driver's license number.
okay, we'll figure it out in a second, don't worry. Okay, Victoria, who's this?
Celestino, page 4.
Mr. Celestino, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On June 29th, 2024, at approximately 12:44 a.m., officers were dispatched to assist Houston Fire Department with an intoxicated party. Upon arrival, officers observed the defendant's vehicle stopped at railroad tracks in the road. The Houston Fire Department stated that they were dispatched and observed the defendant behind the wheel, car and parked, flashers on. The defendant stated that he had one beer and was on his way to his girlfriend's house. He is 17 years old and that.
17.
Yes, Your Honor. Officers observed red glossy eyes and a strong odor of alcohol on the breath. Standard field sobriety test was conducted, 6 of 6 on the HGN, 5 of 8 on the walk and turns, and 2 of 4 on the one leg stand. DIC was read, breath was refused, and blood was drawn pursuant to a warrant. His driver's license does show eligible.
Mr. Celestino, what do you do for a living, sir?
Metal company.
Did you graduate from high school? Did you graduate from high school? Are you in school right now? Where do you go to school? That's high school. Okay, if I drug test you right now, what's going to show up? We're going to see that. I'm sending you for a drug test now. Are you sure?
Sir.
Okay, I'm sending you for a drug test and then you must come back here. I will provide a lawyer for you today. No more drinking, no more dope, Otherwise, I will put you in jail, sir. You're not going to get any more PR bonds. You understand me? Do you have a driver's license? Do you have insurance? Okay, for now, I'm going to send you for a drug test and then you must come back. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria and then I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box, sir. Hey, Vic,
Yes,
I'm going to send him for a drug test as well.
go ahead and sign for your reset.
Hey, can you go ahead and appoint for him and for Castillo, please?
No, I was just here to driver's license.
Great, thank you.
All right, Judge, next is page 14, Lopez, come on up.
Are you chewing gum, sir?
Sorry. Piece of plastic.
Mr. Lopez, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews for the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On June 29th, 2024, officers were dispatched to an apartment regarding an assault in progress call. They spoke with the complaining witness, the defendant's friend, who said that the defendant assaulted him, causing him pain by punching him multiple times in the face. The complaining witness tried to fight back, but was afraid for his life, so he fled and tripped. Officers observed a quarter-sized bruise on the complaining witness' left side of his neck, quarter-sized bruise on the right side of his pectoral, and multiple lacerations to his forehead. Defendant was located hiding in a closet during a search of the property. The defendant was ID'd by his U.S. passport.
Okay, Mr. Lopez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, sir?
19. Not 21, my fault.
Sorry? So you're 21.
So young.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I work with my grandpa.
Doing what?
Like construction, like we get calls, like you say you want a patio built, we go up there and we build it up from scratch.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, Your Honor.
You as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming any kind of dope, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, sir. Do you understand? Did you want a court-appointed lawyer, sir? Did you want a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
I need you to fill out an application for me. So Deputy Holly's going to give you an application. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You're not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. You understand?
Your Honor.
If you violate any of these bond conditions, I will put you in jail and then we'll be doing all this behind the bars. Don't pick up any new cases. Behave yourself in the free world. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Page 15,
So don't worry about it because
come on up.
Amy will take care of the bond, or
Okay.
Amy, Tracy will take care of the bond conditions.
Go ahead and sign for your reset. For your applications.
Please. Hi. Peter.
I have an arrangement. Do you mind if I approach you?
Of course.
Go ahead and have a seat.
Is this your Raymond?
He's not, he was out there first. So.
Okay, so after this, we can get Mr.
Who is
Delis.
it?
What's this one?
Did he just walk up here?
No, it's when I called him.
Oh, okay. Are you Giorgio Mack? Mr. Mack, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On June 30th, 2024, at 2:48 a.m., officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle for going 87 in a 65-mile-per-hour zone. Defendant admitted to driving the vehicle and ID through his Louisiana driver's license. Officers observed unsteady balance, red, wet, glossy eyes, and an odor of alcohol on the breath. The defendant refused standard field sobriety test, but a 375 milliliter bottle of Crown Royal 1/4 full was located in the vehicle. DIC was read, breath was refused, and blood was taken pursuant to a warrant.
CBS needs priority to be honest, please.
There's no criminal history. No.
Mr. Mack, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Where do you live?
Inglewood,
You live in Houston, here. How long have you lived here? Are you planning on staying here or are you going to go back to Louisiana? The point I'm trying to get is if you're planning on staying here and making this your home, your domicile, you must surrender the Louisiana license and get a Texas driver license. If you're planning to go back to live in Louisiana, then you may keep the license, but other than that, you have to surrender license. As it stands, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming any kind of dope, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, sir. Do you understand? Yes or no? Do you have liability insurance in your name? Sure. Okay. You may continue to drive as long as you have both. If you do not have both, then you cannot drive. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So first I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then so you need to hire a lawyer quick then, and you need to get on it quick. I'm going to tell you that there's a lot of timing requirements with your license as well as for DWI. So if you sit there and wait until you get back to try to hire a lawyer, you may lose that Texas or that license that you have. So I would get on it quick. And then once you do get a lawyer, have them come talk to me, and then we can talk about waiving your appearance so you can go work offshore. I'm okay with that, but you need a lawyer first. Okay. So I'll have you go to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. You'll get with Trace for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. Okay. All right.
Page 16, Norman, come on up.
So Peter, Mr. Norman.
Yeah, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Norman.
Well,
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months of jail under a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On June 26, 2024, officers were dispatched to a crash and found the defendant's vehicle in a ditch. The defendant stated that the vehicle in the ditch was his and that he had been driving. The defendant was observed to have red, glassy eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of alcohol on the breath. The defendant stated that he had been drinking at work with his coworkers. Standard field sobriety test was conducted, 6 of 6 on the HGN, 6 of 8 on the walk and turn, and 3 of 4 on the one leg stand. DIC was read on the scene and the defendant consented to a breath test, which was a 0.149 and a 0.148.
Judge, only response I would have is potential operation of the motor vehicle based on, I know he did make a statement, but we don't know if the car was running. I know the car was in the ditch. He wasn't there when he had the car.
He's alone though, right?
Don't know. I wasn't there.
Yes, you were. Don't lie.
I was driving.
Mr. Norman, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or dope, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
Have you run his license to see?
It's eligible.
It is, Judge, and it's commercial.
Oof. Oof.
This was personal vehicle.
Doesn't matter. You have a CDL. Do you know that on a second conviction, you lose that CDL for life?
Yes, sir.
Lifetime suspension of that CDL. I would be very, very careful. Not only that, because you have a CDL, you're held to even a higher standard. A lower breath test can be used against you. So regardless, you have a lawyer. Listen to Peter. He will take care of you well. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If Peter comes back to me and tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. No alcohol, no dope. Stay in contact with him and things will go fine.
Yes, sir.
I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Tracy your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you, Peter.
Good to see you, Judge.
Page 18, Opunte, come on up.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Whitek, what's new, man? With a W, right? I don't see it. Oh, with an O. I thought it's W.
Day after the holiday.
Now I see. Okay. Guys, keep it down, please. Are you Mr. Opute?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On June 29th, 2024, at about 4 a.m., officers were dispatched to a crash. Upon arrival, they saw the defendant standing on the sidewalk next to the vehicle and with severe front end damage. His vehicle had struck a bus stop sign, city stop sign, and then a parked Civic and attempted to leave the scene. Officers observed a moderate odor of alcohol on the breath, bloodshot eyes, and that the defendant was swaying. The defendant admitted to driving and having one cocktail at a party at approximately 2:30 a.m. Standard field sobriety test was conducted. HGN was a 6 of 6, 2 of 8 on the walk and turn, and 0 of 4 on the one leg stand. DIC was read, blood was consented to, and blood was drawn.
Priority to the eyes.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Opute, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Do you have valid liability insurance? I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of dope, you will go to jail. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a lawyer. Good job on having a lawyer. Because you have one, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Whitek, and he will tell you when you have to come back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Tracy for your bond conditions, and after that, you guys are free to go. Okay, guys. Thanks.
Right this way. Page 15, Malone, come on up.
Good morning, Mr. Malone. Ugh. Mr. Malone, you're charged with failure to identify oneself. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers observed the defendant's vehicle traveling with a defective tail lamp and conducted a traffic stop. The officers requested the defendant's driver's license and insurance, but was only given the insurance. The defendant stated he did not have a driver's license but had an ID. The defendant then gave a Mississippi ID identified as Mario Love. The picture did not match the driver's face. The officer requested if he can confirm that the ID was his, and the defendant stated it was his and said he just looks different and his hair grew longer. The officer asked the defendant one more time, and the defendant finally admitted his first and last name. The man asked him for his identification.
That he would rather a man ask him for his, was it a woman cop?
It was a woman cop. The defendant stated that the ID was his brother's and that he did not steal it from anyone. And the defendant was positively ID'd by his government photo.
Here's the rub, Mr. Malone. You're on felony probation for a very serious offense where you're facing up to 10 years in prison. So First off, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. The first thing I'm going to do is order you not to drive, not to consume alcohol or any kind of dope. If I find that you do either, I will put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond so high, you're going to flip. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. You drive, you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. As it stands now, I would be on the lookout because it's just a matter of time before a felony warrant hits. And then you'll be stuck like Chuck in there at no bond. What do you do for a living, Mr. Malone? What do you do for a living? Doing what?
Skate. Professional skater, I would think skater.
A professional what?
Skater.
Skater. How much money do you make a month as a professional skater? If I drug test you now, what's going to show up, Mr. Malone? If I drug test you now, what's going to show up? Okay, I'm sending you right now. We'll see. I'm going to first have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box, Mr. Malone. So first, I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. Then I'm going to get you to Victoria, and then I'm going to send you for a drug test, Mr. Malone.
Page 17, O'Gara, come on up.
Ogaro. O-G-A-R-R-O. For sure. Good morning, Mr. Ogaro. Sir, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On June 29th, 2024, officers were dispatched to an assault in progress in Harris County, Texas. Officers observed a black SUV which had 3 people inside and confirmed it to be the vehicle of interest. The defendant got out of the driver's side of the vehicle and began to walk away from the officers. The officer then told everyone to stop, and the defendant kept walking away, ignoring commands. The officer told the defendant multiple times to stop, but the defendant did not comply and began evading on foot from the officer towards an apartment complex. Foot pursuit began, and another officer then drove towards the defendant and gave verbal commands to stop, announcing Houston police stop. The defendant was eventually caught, and officers were able to place the defendant in handcuffs. The total approximate length was 1/4 mile. Upon return to the original scene, all other parties had left the scene along with the vehicle of interest.
What was the detention for? What was he doing wrong?
Officers were there on an assault call and had a description of the vehicle. And once they saw it, they approached, and that's whenever defendant.
Do you have more than just an assault call? Any kind of identifying factors? I mean, it's really just vague how there's just cars don't assault, you know? Like if there was some kind of description, someone in the car had assaulted someone or something to that nature, you know, but just.
I mean, officers were able to confirm the vehicle by the license plate given from the call.
Okay.
So they they confirmed that it was the defendant's vehicle that they approached on.
Do they say that someone assaulted someone, that there were,
Yes, that it was just an assault call, Your Honor.
yeah, I need more than that. I mean, it's really vague. It's presumptuous. It's, Beetle, do you have anything else?
I'll look at it, just let me take a look at it.
Okay.
If you just.
Just do me a solid, will you? Just take a seat for me. Let me I want to make sure that there's probable cause if there is. If not, I'm going to cut you loose, but I want to make sure that there really is. So just give me a second and then we'll get back with you.
All right, Judge, the next one is page 18. O'Neill, come on up.
Just let me take a look at the bond, please. There's some good cheese over here. Not big, there's just cheese. Just cheese.
Good morning, Miss O'Neill. Ma'am, you're charged with theft by check. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Your case is nearly 2,000 days old. Do we know that she's been arrested on this before? Or have she been in front of us before?
She was coming to
How was
court
that?
in 2019. There are multiple resets.
Oh, how many times she like ghosted us?
I would say once, Judge, she posted a cash bond in 2019 and it got revoked. And then here we are, 2024. She posted a surety bond.
All right, so she did post a surety bond. So, ma'am, like I said, you're charged with theft by check. Can you tell me, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Tell me, where's the check written to and how much, please?
The check was written as payment for merchandise. The exact name, number, and kind is unknown. It was for $202, and the defendant was ID through her driver's license number, and I have an account number. At Wells
So-
Fargo.
Let's do this. Victoria, can you appoint her someone? We got to do, this case is just way too old and we have to do something with it. Ma'am, I'm going to appoint you. Do you have a lawyer? Okay, I'm going to have you talk to someone today. We have to figure out where this thing is going today. It's 2,000 days old and it's just way too old to just cut you loose and hope and pray that you come back. So just take a seat for me in the jury box and I'm going to have you talk to someone here momentarily. But ma'am, get your stuff though.
Can I go use the restroom? Okay,
Come back.
I'm gonna come back.
You don't come back. I'm telling you, I'm going to make your bond so high.
I'm not trying to,
Flip.
no, 'cause I have two special needs kids, so
All
I
right, go to the potty, but come back.
Judge, I see what you're saying, unless I you want to do whatever you want to do.
That's it?
And then I'll resolve it. I mean, I think you were questioning whether it was probable cause.
Right.
related to the case.
There's nothing new?
I don't really disagree with you.
Okay, come up, sir. So this was Ogbaro, or Ogaro. Okay, Mr. Ogaro. I'm gonna find that there's no probable cause in your case. Just be careful out there, man. People are always out to hunt you down, you know what I mean? Just be careful, don't put yourself in the spot, okay? All right, you're free to go, for sure.
Sir, I just filed a dismissal if you want to wait, if you don't.
Thank you, Nathan.
Yep.
All right, Judge,
Aye. Yes.
page 19, Reyes, come on up. Felix Reyes.
Good morning, Mr. Reyes. Mr. Reyes, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and any abuse of the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
Officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle doing donuts at Clay Road and Highway 6. The defendant was blocking on incoming traffic before entering a parking lot and before making a right onto Highway 6, failing to signal the turn and going southbound. The defendant was ID'd and was the sole occupant and driver.
All right. Can you look up to see if he has a license? Mr. Garza. Mr. Reyes, the first thing I'm going to tell you is that the legislature, guys, please keep it down. The legislature has made it extremely easy for district attorneys around the state of Texas to seize and impound and take cars from people who participate in these types of actions, be it street takeovers, racing, donuts, reckless driving. You are now on notice for people who are caught with multiple violations. And I've seen it where DAs seize the cars and take it from you permanently. If you do not want that to happen, it's probably a good idea not to engage in this type of behavior. Do you understand?
Sure.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
Sure.
Do you have valid liability insurance? Then you're not allowed to drive. And I'm making that a condition of your bond. If I find that you drive, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Sure.
How old are you, son? Okay. What do you do for a living?
Work at a fast food restaurant.
Did you graduate from high school?
Sure.
Okay. What you will be doing with me now is you're going to be signing an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive until you get liability insurance in your name. You must bring the proof to me before we allow you to drive. Don't just start driving. Do you understand? Once you get it, come back to me and then I'll allow you to drive. But until that point, you drive, I will put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond extremely high. Do you understand?
Your Honor, his license is eligible.
How much money do you make a month, Mr. Reyes?
It's approximately 1,500, 2,000.
Who do you live with? Who do you live with?
Parents. Mom.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir? Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. Then Deputy Holly is going to give you an application for a court-appointed lawyer. You need to fill it out because I need to know everything about you. I need to know what kind of car you drive, money in the bank. I will then also have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while you fill it out. Okay?
Judge, for this one, it's state bond condition.
Yeah, states. And then I gave you an application as well.
All right, Judge, next one is page 20, Riley.
Is Riley back there? Okay, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Mr. Riley.
We're in the court.
Took you into custody because you have a felony warrant.
Yes, sir.
Looks like you're on probation for an evading arrest.
Yes, sir.
They filed a warrant for your arrest. You're at no bond right now, so once you do hit felony court, that may change or not. We have you here because you're charged with indecent exposure. You're facing up to 6 months in jail
We're in the court.
and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On June 26, 2024, officers were dispatched to 4419 Wheeler Peakway in Harris County, Texas for an indecent exposure call. The complaining witness was in the parking lot of Whataburger. Her husband went inside to pick up the food order, and the defendant parked next to her in a dark-colored four-door sedan. The defendant attempted to get her attention by waving his hand. The complainant stated that she ignored the defendant at first, and the complainant stated that the defendant then adjusted his parking and rolled down the front two windows and was naked.
He was naked in a car? Okay.
The complainant stated the defendant began pleasuring himself by masturbating while looking into her vehicle.
Shh.
The complainant stated that the
So
defendant.
hold on a second. Sign it.
The complainant stated that the defendant stayed parked next to her, engaging in the act for approximately 5 minutes. The complainant stated the defendant left the scene when her husband came back out of the restaurant. The witness was able to take down the license plate of the vehicle before the defendant had left the scene. Officers ran the license plate, and the complaining witness positively ID'd the defendant by his driver's license photo.
Okay, so you said this was at a Whataburger, correct? Okay. Mr. Riley, do you have a Texas driver license, sir?
Sir.
Can you run his license, please? I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this complaining witness and not to go back to this Whataburger. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I have to, well, I guess I have to say this. I'm also going to order you that if you're in a car, not to drive a car naked. Okay, just
Yes, sir.
really.
Yes, sir.
I will appoint you a lawyer today so that you can talk to someone today. We will take you into custody and then just don't send him down because we need him to sign bond conditions. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna check all that because I want to make sure that if you're driving that you do have a license, okay? We're gonna create the bond conditions. We'll have you sign it and then I'll have to have you speak to someone here momentarily, okay? All right, thanks. Thank you. So if you can file the conditions, no driving naked.
No contact. Page
I mean-
21.
There's always a first, you know, really.
Rocha, come on up.
No contact and no weapons, please.
No contact and,
No contact with the complaining witness, no going back to that Whataburger,
okay.
no weapons. And no nakedness.
Rocha, page 21.
Got it.
No
All right.
PC was found by the magistrate.
Oh, so just go ahead, take a seat from me, ma'am, real quick. I'm gonna talk with Nathan here momentarily, and then we'll figure out what's gonna happen. I mean, yeah, well, there's no reason for me to do anything. We'll wait for Nathan to see.
Page 21, Rodriguez.
Rigoberto Rodriguez, come up.
Which.
You speak English? Come on up.
I know, I'm working all 60 dockets today, not just this one.
That's it.
Yeah.
The magistrate have found no PC.
That's 251.
This is Rodriguez, Rigoberto Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, where did you think you were going today? To the beach? So why do you come in shorts? Don't come to shorts court again in shorts. You know better with your 15 priors, number one. It's a complete sign of disrespect. So I'm not going to do anything to you now, but if you come back to shorts, come to court again in shorts, it's just not going to go well for you. I will make a docket notation now so that I remember this as well. Sir, you're charged with driving while your license is suspended. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On June 29th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle with expired registration. The defendant was ID'd by his Texas driver's license, which was suspended on April 27th, 2023 for no liability insurance.
You know, is it still suspended?
I will have it run. Let's see. It's suspended still.
Mr. Rodriguez, this is an affidavit. This is a court document that you're going to swear to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what your reason is. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing 6 months of jail and a $500 fine every time you drive because it's an offense in and of itself. If you drive 5 times, I will have 5 different contempt hearings. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do not drive. If you want to drive, go get liability insurance, get a license, and then I will take this restriction off of you. But if I find that you drive, I will sprout horns and a tail because I will be so upset. And I'm going to tell you, you will be on the losing end of it. Do you understand?
I understand.
I'm not asking you to split the atom. Just follow the law. That's all I'm asking you to do. You're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So first, I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, I will get you to Victoria where we're going to have you sign a reset. We will see you back here in 30 days. Please have a lawyer, sir.
Judge, page 23. Simon, come on up.
Judge, I'm not gonna dismiss that today.
Okay, I'll talk to her here momentarily. So I'm assuming that you'll just go re-indict it or something, or go get it
Yeah.
indicted?
I've instructed the DAs that I was gonna talk to you about it one last time, but if need be, they're gonna have to go to grand jury. I mean,
How
she
long do you want me to
assaulted-
set it out?
She assaulted the police officer too. He woke up in a moving lane traffic. I don't know.
I wonder what the reasoning, I wonder what the reasoning is with the magistrate. I don't know.
What's that?
I wonder what the reasoning was for an OPC. I don't know.
I think it's crazy that if you're passed out in the moving lane of traffic in the car and drive and the police officer makes contact with you, and then you beat up the police officer, that's found the probable cause. But that's just my.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll revisit it here in a second.
I think it would probably save everybody some time if the court did that.
Okay.
Judge, real quick on Mr. Rodriguez, so he's doing something with that affidavit.
Correct,
Are there
THA.
Conditions? or-
No, just, I've got the affidavit.
All right, got it. This is page 23, Simon.
You, Orlando Simon.
Sir.
Mr. Simon, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On June 27th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a family violence call at an apartment and made contact with the complaining witness, who is the defendant's girlfriend and mother of his children. The defendant had left on foot prior to police arrival. The complainant stated that there was an argument over gas money and he assaulted her by ripping her hair weave out of her head, grabbed her by the neck and slammed her into the bathroom mirror and wall several times. Then he choked her and she was unable to breathe for 5 different times. He then let go and threw ground beef at her, striking her head and face. Then he slapped her several times, causing pain. Officers observed visible injuries. Officers in a marked patrol car observed him and activated sirens. The defendant jumped a metal fence into a nearby apartment complex. Officers set up a perimeter and encountered the defendant several times. pursuing him on foot, eventually losing sight of him. Air support located the defendant entering an alley, and the defendant was found hiding within an exterior patio closet of an apartment unit and was taken into custody.
Mr. Simon, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. What do you do for a living, sir?
Browse,
Great. You have a full-time job?
they pay off production, so every check is fluctuate.
Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication, not to have contact with the complaining witness, and no weapons. If you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You understand? I don't want to have to do that, so just don't have any contact with this person, and don't use any dope, and don't have any weapons. That's all we're asking. I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'll get you to Tracy for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go, sir. So they charged a felony assault, right? Okay, so I'm sure, well, I'm sure that they put pretty good conditions on him. I don't know. You did?
No.
No, we have the evading.
Okay.
Yeah, they put him on an ankle monitor and stuff, so, okay.
Judge, page 24, Soto, come on up.
You Juan Soto. Mr. Soto, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On June 27th, 2024, an officer observed the defendant's vehicle registration tag had expired in September 2022. Officers activated emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop, but then noticed the vehicle run a stop sign and begin traveling at a high speed to the officer's experience and belief exceeding 80 miles per hour. The vehicle then ran another stop sign on Imperial Valley Drive. While driving on Imperial Valley, the vehicle changed lanes to the opposite side of the road and began traveling the wrong way to enter a shopping.
Driving the wrong way on the street?
The far east side of the property and parked. Several vehicles were on the road, as well as vehicles and people in the shopping center parking lot, while the defendant drove recklessly. When asked by the officer why he was driving recklessly, the defendant explained that he was scared because his registration had expired.
Mr. Soto, how old are you, sir? What do you do for a living?
I'm learning plumbing.
If I go drug test you now, what's going to show up? I'm sending you for a drug test right now. Do you have a Texas driver license? I'm now taking away your privilege to drive. You were not allowed to drive at all. You'll be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me not until I know that you appreciate the awesome power it is to drive. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? I don't care what your excuse is. You drive, you'll be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. You'll be stuck like Chuck. Tracy, do you mind sending him out, please? First, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. I'm sending you for a test. You must come back. If you do not come back, I will issue a warrant. You will not get any more PR bonds. For now, I'm going to have you come up here and swear to us that you're not going to drive, and then we'll send you out, sir. Great. Good morning.
I have Kevin Cabrera back from Wednesday's court date. He tested positive for pot. He tested positive. I asked him when was the last time he smoked pot. He said about 30 days ago. So
That's not right, then.
No, that's not good, Judge. But he did say he won't touch it again and he's scared to death and, you know, all that good stuff.
See. Thanks, Dave. You too, man. See you Monday. Hey, Vic. Victoria. On Cabrera, did we send him for a drug test in May? Did we send him for a drug test in May?
Yes, on Wednesday, we sent the drug test.
No, but what about in May? Did we do it in May? Did I put him, basically, did I put him on notice not to smoke for 30 days?
I don't even say.
Drug and alcohol testing.
Right, but did I admonish him like not to do it and we'll give him the 30-day deadline?
Defendant must not use, yes, possession or consume.
Oh, yeah, because you don't want to go back to May.
When?
May
Did I physically send him for a drug test that day or no?
8th. Send him for a drug
Yeah.
test that day. I'm not sure if we sent him that day, but we told him not to. And he signed. So we can see
I'll tell you
if
that.
it's
You can tell you that.
Mr. Reyes, did I send him for a drug test in May? Do you know?
Did you do a drug test in May?
Come here, come up.
Yes, he did one in May, that was positive. Yeah,
And I told him not to smoke?
positive.
They had sent me and they didn't do me a drug test the first time I went, apparently because the system was down, and then they told me to make another.
Order in the court.
I told you not to smoke in May. And I said 30 days in your system. What would happen if you tested positive? Right. What did you just test positive for? Stephen, goes with you.
I need to know what she wants to do. Dude, why do you feel like it's a work? Hurry up. We're going to-
Let's regroup on Monday. We'll see if he's still in. Okay, and then I'll admonish him. Okay.
Thanks, Judge.
George, and then let's talk on Monday. I'm gonna put him on for that day. I'm not,
Well, for a little bit, I'm gonna look, because it may have to be Tuesday. Let me look at my calendar.
okay, please. I don't want to keep him in for long. Okay, I just want to get the message loud and
No,
clear.
that's the way you get the
Okay.
message, because he's only 17.
No.
So because he's 17, he gets the message quick. This is not where I want to be. So, and they usually.
Do you want to do Tuesday? I'm fine with Tuesday.
But tomorrow, where are we, Wednesday?
That would be,
It'll be next Wednesday when I'll be back here, Judge. I'll be in San Antonio for a few days.
and
So Wednesday's.
he's gonna pop up on Monday regardless, just because we're taking him in. And then if you want, we can put him on for the 10th. But remember, you can always zoom in too.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have the Zoom for you to be able, so that you can, wherever you are, you can always
Okay.
zoom in. So if you want
I'll
to zoom
zoom
in
in.
on Monday, we're happy to have you. And then we can
Perfect.
talk and hopefully he's gotten the message by then,
Okay, I'll pop in,
you know?
Zoom on
And
Monday.
then I'll give him another 30 days. And then this time, if he tests positive again, you'll stay.
30 days sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to do Monday?
Yes, absolutely. I'll get the court files.
If he doesn't already bond out, but we'll see.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks, Judge. Monday it is. I'll see you on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
Hello. She went for a drug test and she came back. She tells me she's negative. I don't know if she is.
Or Castillo.
Great. All right, come up, Ms. Castillo. Refresh my memory, if you don't mind, Ms.
Assault,
Garza.
misdemeanor assault case in the parking lot of high school.
Oh, is it-
After a car accident where the complaining witness hit the back of her car.
Got it. I didn't realize it was at a high school because I normally order people not to go back to the location where the alleged assault
Still a
occurred.
student there, Judge.
I don't care.
I know.
I mean,
That's an old warrant.
the only thing I want is the person that you were in the alleged fight with. I don't want them to have the fear that you're going to come up and the same thing's going to happen. So I'm ordering you not to go back to this location. Is this a high school or what?
Yeah,
Are you still in this high
I
school?
graduated.
Oh, okay, great. So it's no harm, no foul then. So do not go back to this location. No weapons. Do not pick up any new cases. No drugs, no alcohol. That's it. Do you understand, man? You've been given a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with Carl. If Carl comes back to me and tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You will not get any more PR bonds, man. You understand? So what do you do for a living?
I work with my grandma,
Doing what?
house cleaning.
Okay. Stay in touch with Carl. We'll make sure that you sign the bond conditions. After that, you'll be free to go, man. Okay? All right. Good luck. Yeah, that'll be with Tracy. Yeah.
Me or me?
Sorry, Trace.
On page 3, another.
Oh, right. Okay. So Nathan, can we talk about Canales real quick? Canales, this is a DWI.
Cause number is 2.
Just, can we do PC together? Because I was wavering on whether there's PC or no PC. We read the whole thing, if you don't mind. Go for it.
Would you like me to read it?
Yeah, sure.
On June 26, 2024, an officer responded to a disturbance call at a food bank in Harris County, Texas, with a vehicle description of the defendant who stated to have a firearm and to be under the influence of alcohol. The defendant was parked at a Chevron gas station. There were no weapons inside of the vehicle, and the defendant was in the act to exit the vehicle and was asked if he had consumed any alcohol. The defendant stated he had 2 beers earlier. The officer observed the defendant to have glossy eyes.
Okay, that's why.
Uh,
So the
My
food,
question is the car on or not?
but
It was on.
I've been, but so is the food bank at the gas station? Did anyone see him drive anywhere?
Let me look at the dates,
The
John.
food bank to me is not a gas station.
Well, no, but there are food banks at some of the gas stations
There's
where you can
food
get,
at the gas station, but it's not a food bank, right?
well, not in the, I mean, what I mean is there, you know,
I
they have gas
there's a
stations.
call
where-
about a food
So-
bank disturbance. They go to a different location.
Yes,
and
Judge.
talk with
And
them.
if I can clarify, in the DIMS, it says that originally the disturbance happened at a food bank while en route to the location, which wasn't noted by the prosecutor in the case. The officer was advised that that vehicle, I'm so sorry. That he'd been stopped in the area, based on the description of the vehicle with the temporary license tag. So they stopped that vehicle, based on the description of the vehicle and the license tag.
So they stopped it at the gas station.
But that's when they approached, because based on the license plate.
My whole question, Judge, is does anybody see him operate the motor vehicle?
That's my question. It's what I'm getting at. Do we have any kind of operation? Do we see anyone, does anyone see him driving?
I'm hearing gas station, but most of the people pull to a gas pump or to get some food or whatever and turn their car off. Most people, not
So,
everybody. But
When they arrived, the DIM states that the suspect was still in the driver's seat with the engine running.
Okay, that's a big difference.
that's it.
I mean, that's more because got to get there somehow. And okay, all right, come up. Oh, wait a second, hold on. Wait, Canales, wait. We need a translator. That's a big difference.
Yes, and I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Now let's come on up.
I have to admonish him real quick
Okay.
before we. All right. All right, Mr. Canales, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. I told you earlier that I wanted to do a deeper dive to see if there was probable cause to go forward with your case. after the state has told me more about your case, I'm now going to find that there is probable cause to go forward. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
No,
Are you in this country with or without permission?
es con permiso o sin permiso.
Con permiso.
With permission,
So es TPS, TPS.
with a TPS.
Okay. You have temporary protected status. Understand, the more criminal cases you pick up, the higher likelihood you have of that protective
Esa
status being revoked.
activo sea revocado.
No.
Protector
Do you
sea-
understand?
¿Entendió, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you
Solo
have a
quiero
Texas-
decirle en la cara.
Okay.
¿Usted tiene licencia de conducir de Texas?
No.
No.
You are not allowed to drive.
Manejar.
Okay.
There's no quicker way for you to go to jail
Ir a una
than to be
cárcel,
caught in a car driving.
en un carro
I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive because it's an offense in and of itself. You will be signing with me today in a promise that you're not going to drive. Mr. Canales, I don't know whether you do have TPS status or not. To me, it really doesn't matter.
Para mí,
I will warn you now that if there is any problem with your paperwork and immigration finds you in the jail because they sweep it on a daily basis, they will put an immigration detainer on you. You will remain in custody until immigration is done with you. And as you well know, it takes ages for immigration to do anything. I now have at least 5 people stuck in jail on an immigration detainer because they don't listen. You are now advised. This is the only warning that you're going to get from me. You violate any of these bond conditions, I'm going to put you in jail. And if you are unlucky enough, you're going to be there for a very long time. Your bond condition number 1, no consuming alcohol,
consumir alcohol.
Okay.
no illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you.
Voy a hacer pruebas al azar.
Okay.
If you test positive for anything, you will go to jail.
Okay.
I'm also ordering you not to drive.
Maneje.
Okay.
You drive,
Usted
you
maneja
go to jail.
a la cárcel.
Okay.
Okay.
Heed this warning because you will not get another.
Porque no va a
You must also return to court as well.
regresar a tribunales también.
Now, if I remember correctly, he said he was going to go hire Joe.
Va a ir a contratar a Joe.
Sí.
Is that right?
Yes,
Un
eso es
abogado.
correcto.
Sí, un abogado.
Yes, an attorney. An attorney.
Joe is a great lawyer.
Joe es un buenísimo
Sí.
abogado.
So
Solo
we
mira,
will give you time.
vamos a dar tiempo
Go hire, if you need a lawyer to represent you regardless, so go.
para que lo representes.
Sí.
And I would go quick
Lo haría
because this does have consequences on you.
Okay.
para usted.
Sí.
Yes, sir.
For now, I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not to drive. Then I will have you go to Victoria where we will have you sign a reset.
Firmar un aplazamiento.
And then after that, you will get to Tracy for your bond conditions. You will, after that, you'll be free to go.
Para irse.
Do not pick up any new cases.
Okay.
All right, come on up here. We'll have you swear to this and then we'll have you get going.
Can we move on to the next one until Luis gets here?
Sure.
Page 32, triplet.
I think we're nearly done.
It was MAJ. He's released on bond and present. Mario was on the case. And he fled.
Good morning, Mr. Triplett. Mr. Triplett, you were placed on probation for a gun case. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Since that, a motion to revoke has been filed alleging, among other things, you failed to report for February twice, September twice, and in March. Tested positive for marijuana. Let's see, when did June? At least 4 to 5 different times. Mr. Triplett, what do you do for a living? How much money do you make a month?
Like 700.
A week. Who do you live with?
I live with myself, my kids, and my baby mama.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir? You're facing a year in jail. You need a lawyer to represent you. And I'm telling you now, it's not going well. You need a lawyer to represent you.
I need to buy one.
Well, I'm willing to offer you one now. If you want to apply for one, I'll look at your application to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. As it stands now, if I test you, what are you going to test positive for? Okay, you smoke after today. I'm telling you, it's not going to go well. Do you understand? I've already had to put someone in jail for the same very thing already. And I will triple to quadruple your bond if you test positive again. Do you understand? You're going to get tested again in 30 days. I don't care what your reason is. I don't care who you're with. You test positive for weed again, I'm going to quadruple your bond. Do you understand? So let's get them someone and then we'll have them talk. Right. For now, Stephen's going to give you an application. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria and we'll have you take a seat in the jury box, sir. You too. Eric.
Hey, Judge.
Hey, your dude's got bond violations.
Yeah, I saw the email. I got your message too, but instead of the 10th, can we do the 11th?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, I'll put him on. Just let
Okay,
him know he's
perfect.
got to be here, okay?
I'll let him know.
Okay, thanks, bud.
All right, thank you.
Ciao. John,
Yes, sir.
okay. Come up.
See if I can allow Judge. I think he's right.
You tested positive for marijuana. And I'm telling you now, you will get tested in 30 days. Weed stays in your system for 30 days. Do not hang out with anyone that smokes. Don't go in a car with anyone that smokes, because if they hotbox, it's on you. Don't think that you can go to High Times and get something to mask it, because if it dilutes it, it's on you. You test positive after 30 days, it tells me you've continued to smoke. Guess what's going to happen? Right. I've already put another 17-year-old today in jail because of the same thing. Don't do it. You hold the keys to the jail cell. You understand?
Sir.
Okay. Now, you don't have a license, do you? Is that mom over there? Who's that?
Mom.
Do you speak English, ma'am?
You got it, Judge.
Want me to text?
Please. Yeah, it's just, I don't want to get nervous and flip my words.
I understand.
We believe in you.
We do.
Hey, how's August 5th for John?
John, how's August 5th?
Right now, I haven't seen.
August 5th, August 5th. That's, A-okay. Victoria, did you hear that? August 5th is good. Thank you.
Okay, got it.
6:30 in the morning, John.
Yeah.
You got it.
Hey. Luis.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming today. Your son is charged with driving while intoxicated. He's facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. It's a very serious charge. He's only 17 and I wanted to know more about him. So I sent him for a drug test. He tested positive for marijuana. I told him that I was going to test him again in 30 days. If he tested positive again for marijuana in 30 days, that tells me that he's continued to use and I'm going to put him in jail. He does not have a license, so at this moment in time, I'm going to order him not to drive. If this is your car, I would be very careful because if he goes out there and has an accident, God forbid, does damage or hurts someone else, that will be on you. They will come after you. All the hard work that you've done in life could be down the tubes. If you were to really hurt someone, they're not going to come after him. They're going to go after the deep pockets, and that is you. At this, if there's anything else that you want me to do, I'm willing to help you in any way. I gave him a lawyer today, and I will have the lawyer reach out to you. If there's anything that you need, all you have to do is ask me. If he starts acting up at your house and not following your orders, just come back and tell me, and I will straighten him out for you. You better be good for your mom. She works hard as it is. You start acting a fool in the free world, I will take the free world away from you in a heartbeat. Do you understand? You are not allowed to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care what you're doing. No driving. Do you have insurance in your name? Does he have insurance, Mom? ¿Él tiene aseguranza, sí o no?
Yes. Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like from me as far as your son? Has he been going to school or is he skipping school?
No, sí, está yendo a la escuela.
He's going to school.
No, se ha portado bien, nada más que pues, últimamente no sé qué le ha pasado.
He has been behaving well. I'm not sure what's happened lately.
Dime con quién andas, yo te digo quién eres. I don't know who he's hanging out with. Perhaps that's what it is. Perhaps it's just him himself. The only thing at this point, no more weed. Do you understand? You hold the keys to the jail cell. No alcohol. I'm going to test you for alcohol as well. You drink alcohol, likewise you will go to jail. They're going to call you to test. You have to go up there and test.
That's correct.
Do you have any questions?
Él le toca la otra corte. ¿Tengo que venir yo o tiene que venir? Él tiene que venir, ¿verdad?
For the next court date, do I have to come, or he also has to come, yes?
I will waive his appearance so he doesn't have to come as long as he remains in contact with the lawyer that I've given him. If the lawyer tells me that he's not responding to phone calls or text messages, I will issue a warrant. Do you have a phone number, ma'am? A cell phone?
832.
Oh, hold on a second. This is Celestino, right? Okay. 832.
368-4937.
4937.
4937? Okay.
4937? Yes.
Do you have a cell phone?
288-0553.
Did you hear that, John?
I've already gotten his number, Judge, but I did not get all the digits from Mom. I got 832 and not the next three digits.
368 I'm on.
Already talked this morning a little bit, so I mean, I'll follow up later with him.
The reset we give you now will have the lawyer's phone number. If you have any questions, you can call him and he will tell you what's going on with the case. My only concern is that the streets are safe and that he's not using alcohol and drugs. If he cannot stop, there's only one place that he goes to.
Okay, pero él ahorita hizo el examen de droga y le salió droga.
He did the drug test and it came out with drugs.
I sent him to go take a drug test and he tested positive for marijuana. I had a feeling that's the problem with 17-year-olds. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. You cannot trust it. That's why I had him drug tested. It's unfortunate, and at some point they will grow up. But while they are teenagers, it's whose guess as to what happens. I'm shuddering the day my kids become teenagers. So if you have any issues, Mom, come back to me and I will help you however you need. Okay?
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So you will now get a reset. Stay in contact with John. That's the lawyer up there. You must stay in contact with him. He's going to call you in about an hour now, and you need to speak to him. You understand? No more dope. Thank you. Okay.
Page 24, Soto,
Okay.
just came back. Got a single.
What about Mr. I don't remember. We sent him. Okay.
Sent him for a drug test.
Do we know what the results? Who are you with?
THC. Is that your mom?
Is that Mom?
Yes, sir.
Come up, Mom.
Step over just a little bit. She said positive for THC.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming. Your son is charged with reckless driving. He's facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. I went and sent him for a drug test. You want to take any guesses as to how it came out?
Yeah, it was positive. I heard.
Test positive again in 30 days. Guess where you're going to end up? Right. I've already had to put multiple people in jail for the same thing. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I don't care if you're mad at me. It stops today.
Yes, sir.
You will be tested 31 days from today. And if you test positive, it tells me that you've continued to smoke and you will dry up in jail. You understand? The other thing, ma'am, is whose car is he driving, yours or his?
His own.
Okay, I would be very careful because like I've already told him that this legislature has made it extremely easy for district attorneys across the state to seize cars from people who engage in this type of activity multiple times. You are on notice now. And I'm telling you, I've had people come here where their cars have been seized, a very nice $60,000 truck seized because they race and do donuts. All right. Tell me, how old are you? Okay. What do you do for a living?
Plumbing.
That's right. Do you have an income?
Yes.
How much do you make?
A month, I would say around like 2,500.
Okay. You need a lawyer to represent you, and we're going to reset your case to give you time to do that, sir. So we're going to reset you 31 days. You must be back here. And I'm telling you, you will be drug tested. You understand? Okay. Mom, if he starts acting up with you, all you have to do is come back and tell me, and I will straighten him out for you.
My son is a very good kid. I have nothing, so he's.
Just you let me know if you have any problems, then we can help you out. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Just go ahead and take a seat.
For this one, was it
JJ.
pretrial?
Oh, yeah, pre-trial, because he's gonna be tested in 30 days.
Randoms.
He decided to come hang out. The other kids are outside. So, it's me. It's the cat. That was Judge Fleischer. It's a whole thing. I loved that docket. I thought that docket was really educational. I thought the way he handled every case in that docket was remarkable. The next case is Judge Perkins, and he has a defendant that is as finicky as my feline friend over here. So I'm going to give it away to Judge Perkins before I get torn to pieces. We'll see y'all in just a bit.
Clyde,
Yes,
I imagine you're not the Glide. So what's your last name?
Lynch.
Lynch. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How old are you?
51, 52, one of them. I don't know.
That doesn't mean you couldn't glide back in the day. I don't know.
No, I don't keep count of that stuff since I've been 12. So I know 51, 52, one of them.
No, I'm saying, you know Clyde the Glide Drexler, right?
Oh yeah.
So I said, I know you're not the Glide, but that doesn't mean you couldn't glide back in the day.
Nah, elementary school they were saying that, but that was it.
Darnell Lynch. Case numbers SP 1537940, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 1554736, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 1558135, counts 2 and counts 3. SP 1590696, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 153794221. SP 155475541, SP 155813551, and SP 1590691. Appearance for the record, please.
Pauline Stroking, BF Mr. Lynch.
Mr. Lynch, state your name for the record, please.
You have to unmute, sir.
Good. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. State your name for the record, please.
Clyde Darnell Lynch.
And Mr. Lynch is 52. He says since he was 12, he stopped taking count of his age. Or 11. Which one was it, Mr. Lynch?
12.
12. All right. Officer E. Don, good morning to you. Can you put your appearance on the record for Mr. Lynch?
Good morning, sir. Officer Eddie John, by 3036, Detroit Police Department.
Good morning to you. Corporal Bennett is here for Lynch as well. Trying to pull him out the breakout room. Today is the date and time set for a trial. Tails not here. Tanti is not here. We're dealing with 6 tickets. The rest of them are going to be dismissed, and probably some of the 6 will be too. No offers on the expired plates, $145. Another in an improper plate. Well, here we go. Well, ones that okay, so it goes like this: a failure to display, $240 fine. That officer's not here. So on the tickets, the officers are not here. We only have 2 expired plates, 3 expired plates. And then 2 of those officers, 4 expired plates, and 2 of those officers are not here. So the offer as it's written in the file, Mr. Barry, I mean, who's on Mr. Lynch, Soroka?
I didn't talk to him at first. I did respond when you just called it, so.
Yeah, no, I know, I mean, so as it's written in the file, it's failure to display, $240 fine. Improper plate submitted from no insurance, $240 fine. And then 4 counts of expired plates, $145 a piece. But there's officers that are not here. Why don't you go into the breakout room and you and Mr. Lynch have a conversation and find out how you want to navigate this, all right?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch, join the room and speak to Ms. Soroki, okay?
Okay, how do I wait for the little?
It says join breakout room 3.
Okay.
All right, let's go back on the record. Mr. Lynch.
We do not have resolution, Your Honor, so my client indicates that he wants to go to trial. He indicates he sent document. Did he come out yet? I don't want to talk when he's not.
No. Well, he's got, the thing about it is he's got these other, the only offers that are on the table really, I mean, the only offers that are on the table are Dunn and Bennett.
Right, there's 2 no insurance, 2 suspended, and 2 improper, or 2
So as it's written in the file, it would only be 2 expired plates unless the city's amending that, but there's only 2 expired plates, $145 a piece.
All right, let me go back in and tell him again.
That's because on the offer sheet.
Does he have a license suspended, Your Honor? I mean, does he have a good valid license?
No.
No, I don't know that. I haven't run that, but the way that the offer was written, the only cases that you wanted Mr. Lynch to plead to was the Dunn expired plate and the Bennett expired plate. And then
Bennett has a license suspended.
yes, so why don't you rearrange the offer then?
Yeah, well, I would just I'll give him 1 FTD and 1 expired plate.
He doesn't want to accept that. He indicates he sent documentation to the court in the past. He's taken his case to the Supreme Court. He did a FOIA request. There's a lot of things I don't really understand what he's talking about, but our communication's close to breaking down. I'll just say that.
Sounds like it. Bring him out then. Go back in there and bring him out.
I prompted him out. Okay, let me try again.
All right. Mr. Lynch, giving you an opportunity to speak to counsel. It's I'm trying to understand. You want to contest these matters?
I had to go back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I had to go back in because I didn't get no prompt. I had to go back in to join in through 36 District Court website.
No, well, listen. What we're saying is that we're trying to get you an offer, but it's my understanding after talking with your lawyer that that you don't want to accept anything. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
The thing is, I don't know what court cases is being brought up. The recent ones or the one that I already have a trial for.
I think all of the cases that are on the docket, everything that's on the docket, that you already had all this stuff set for trial. And what we did probably, okay, I see what
I
happened.
sent some paperwork in, but some of those cases I got kicked out of Zoom. I send in the pictures through that document website, and I don't know, and I send paperwork to the law department for a FOIA for the court cases.
Okay, what
And,
documents did you send in to the court?
It was the case where I had got kicked out of Zoom, and I sent in the pictures where I got kicked out of Zoom. I think that was the January of this year case, and they was like, if I sent in the pictures showing that I was kicked out of the room because I thought the case was dismissed, and I got kicked out.
Okay, so what do you have any documents that relates to your driver's license, insurance, or registration?
Like told the lady, Dearborn, the one got me him, the judge, I mean the person that I talked to on the last court case said we don't have no problems with you, and I said I'm going through the process of doing my documents to take care of Dearborn, because Dearborn the one that got it hemmed out. They didn't honor none of my paperwork. Motion is
Listen, now we're not
set
talking about
aside.
Dearborn. We're talking about Detroit. Do you have any
understand.
documents? Hold on, let me ask my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask my question. Do you have any documents that suggest that you have valid insurance, valid registration, and a valid I can run your driver's license?
I don't have anything. I don't have anything because Dearborn the one that got me hemmed up. I can't even get no insurance without no license.
Okay, so so what we're trying to do, every case that you have down here in Detroit, we call into the record. And we have two officers. The other cases are going to be dismissed, but we have two officers here that are here. And what we're trying to do is either make a resolution now, and we'll present you with an offer. And if you don't like the offer, you can just go to trial. Today is the date and time set for trial.
Yeah, go ahead.
Today is the date and time set for trial. So are you willing to entertain an offer to resolve the cases, or do you want a trial on all the cases?
I mean, which did you say some of them are gonna get dismissed? I only have two. I know the one that I recently got, everything is for the same thing.
Yes. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let me break it down to you. It's two officers that are here. Corporal Bennett wrote you 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 tickets that are up to date. And Officer Dunn wrote you 1, 2, 3 tickets that are up to date. The other officers that wrote you tickets are not showing up, have not showed up, and we're just going to automatically dismiss those cases. So we can get you an offer on the 6 tickets that those two officers wrote you. Are you willing to entertain the offer for those 6 tickets?
Bennett and Dunn, Bennett is the recent case, so that one I want to go to trial. I think the one I'm in trial for now is Dunn, correct?
You're on trial for both of them. Dunn and Bennett are set for trial right now.
So nobody received my paperwork, my traveling paperwork?
What is the paperwork gonna tell us?
Basically, I don't need no driver license, et cetera, et cetera.
Well,
that's no proof of insurance, and my car was towed illegally those 2 times.
And what does the paperwork say why you don't need a driver's license, why you don't need any insurance or anything like that?
I send the paperwork into the law department, and I wanted the FOIA for the body cam and dash cams. And I haven't heard anything from them.
All right, we can get you that. We can get you that if there's some that exists. Corporal Bennett, can you put your appearance record, Corporal Bennett? Hold on, Mr. Lynch.
Yes, Your Honor. Corporal Daryl Bennett, badge 4320, Detroit Police Department.
All right. So we need to get if there's any body cam or dash cam, we need to get that to Mr. Lynch.
He has to go through the law department to get that, Your Honor. If he's requesting it, he has to go through the law department.
Well, that's what he said he tried to do. He said he tried to figure, let's see if we can get that now.
We can't get, Your Honor, our person that would do that is on vacation at this point. There's nobody in the office that can get that for him today.
Okay, now can I say something for the traffic ticket that was done? The other officer didn't put his name on it.
Your Honor, can we just get an adjourn date when the people think they can have their video available?
Yeah, but I wanna just, you know, what I'm trying to do is, I don't want you to say anything as it relates to the traffic stops right now, because today is the date and time set for trial. But I'm gonna tell you this. You're suggesting, it sounds like you were suggesting that you don't have to have license or registration or insurance. Is that what you were saying?
I have documentation of that from the Supreme Court rulings, yes.
All right, well, you need to get me that documentation because
But what's the email so I can send it to you?
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay, my phone not seeing none of that. Only thing I'm seeing on my cell phone now, if I was on my desktop, remember last time I had issues with my desktop, so I'm on the cell phone and I don't see no chat or anything.
Well, you should be able to hit the button down there and it should pop
Okay, let me
up.
see, can I see something? Cause all I see a whole bunch of squares with everybody's face.
You gotta come out of that screen.
Huh?
You gotta come out of that screen.
Which screen I gotta come out of?
The one, you have to come out of the screen where everybody's face is.
Okay, I don't know how to do that. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to get kicked out like I just did when I was in the breakout room.
You didn't get kicked out. We pulled you. All right.
I had to join back in through. I had to go back to 36th District Court website, get back in the Zoom room.
Okay. All right, let's pass the matter and we'll try to figure out how to help you with the technology. And in the meantime, we need to, do you want an attorney appointed to you, sir?
I've been trying to get an attorney. Nobody will take my case. So how, if the appointed attorney don't want to accept my paperwork, then I'm up the creek like in Dearborn. So that's why I'm trying to study how to write the court cases all the way to the Supreme Court. So I'm doing that right now.
All right. Well,
Dearborn is the reason why my license is suspended.
I really want to see what you're talking about, Supreme Court, because I've never seen a Supreme Court case. Wait a minute. Let me finish. I've never seen a Supreme Court case that says that you don't have to have a license or insurance or registration. Now I'll tell you this. I'll admit, I haven't seen all the Supreme Court cases, but I have never seen that. And I've seen a thousand people come in here saying that, well, not 1,000, but a whole lot. And, and I've never seen it work.
So when Mr. Bennett Officer Bennett pulled me over, he was like, no, I ain't. He said, I ain't going for that sovereignty stuff. I said, I don't know what that is. I'm talking Constitutional Supreme Court ruling, and they told my car.
All right, well, send me the Supreme Court ruling. I want to see that right now.
I don't see the where I can send it.
All right, I'm gonna pass it.
I could just come down there.
Here, let me write my email address down and then send it to me, and then I'll pass it and I'll wait till I get your document. You have an ink pen?
Yeah, I have a pen. Okay, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna get it online and send it on my laptop.
I'm gonna be anxiously awaiting that. All right.
All right.
I'll pass.
I'm gonna send the law department thing too.
I'll be anxiously waiting all of that, and I'll pass the matter. It looks like Corporal Bennett is going to be anxiously awaiting. It's going to look like Officer Dunn is going to be anxiously awaiting it. Prosecutor Mason is going to be anxiously awaiting it, and I'm sure Ms. Soroki is going to be, and everybody else in the room. Because this could be some groundbreaking stuff right here. All right, pass the matter. All right, now let's go back on the record lastly with Mr. Clyde Lynch. All right, I got an email, and I'm gonna forward this to you as well, Ms. Mason. This one that was for the City of Detroit Law Department Freedom of Information request. And this is, he wants the body cam, and then I believe this is requesting the necessary body cam stuff. Okay, so that one, I'm gonna forward this to you, Ms. Mason. Now, this is another document that he sent me. This is the travels, U.S. Supreme Court travel rulings. Motion to set aside default. It says it says to me, it has case number SB 15379-421 and SB 15547-541. To whom the dear Judge Sean B. Perkins, and to whom it may concern, the burden of truth is on me, or then it will just be my word against others' words. I, Clyde Darrell Lynch, always traveling, Supreme Court rulings on travel, along with being put in ransom for illegal profit gains against my federal freedoms / liberties and / or etc., as it is proven below, and an unnecessary burden of cash out of my pocket, etc. For what? Question mark. I do not have gold or silver to pay this debt and / or a promissory note. Driver, one employee in conducting a coach, carriage, wagon, or other vehicle with horses, mules, or other animals. Driving, I know everybody's looking at me like, what are you saying? Driving, operating in commerce, for hire / profit. Mulberry versus Madison. 1803 case. They weren't even cars on the road. All laws which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. Now here's what I'm talking about. Here's what the court is talking about right here. I figured he was going to bring this up because all Mr. Lynch did was he went on the Google search and searched basically, I don't know exactly the terminology, but he put driving, don't need to drive without a license. And all of these same cases come up. And this one case really bothers me because that's why I asked Mr. Lynch, did he read the cases? Are you familiar with your Black history, Mr. Lynch? Is he on mute?
Yeah. He writes that up too.
I wish he was too.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you familiar with your Black history?
Okay, is the paper that you're reading is the one that said titled Supreme Court ruling and U.S. Constitution?
Yes.
Okay, that's not updated, but the other ones I sent, those are the ones that's relevant. The one that say Law Depot, it's like 6 pages, but the last 3 is the affidavit and the FOIA paper. You already seen that for the dash cam, etc. But the Law Depot, the first 3 pages is just the website information telling you how to do it. I actually went to school for criminal justice and private investigator, but I didn't finish because I got kicked out for no necessary reason. I've been fighting that ever since. But I actually went to school for business management and law, but I didn't finish. So
I see.
So technically, I went to a Morris facility and learned the Constitution and everything. So put all that together. That's what I'm involved in right now. So
Okay, so let's just discuss, let's just take it down, break it down. What I asked you was, you're providing me documentation to show proof that the Supreme Court says that you don't need a driver's license to drive a vehicle, right?
Your Honor.
I'm asking you a yes or no question.
Okay, all I want to say, that Supreme Court paper, you can forget about that. That Law Depot paper is what I've been working on, and I'm still trying to figure out how to go through the court cases all the way to the Supreme Court. So I'm studying and learning how to do that, to do this, to take care of Dearborn, because Dearborn is the one that got me in limbo right now.
But what I'm saying is, no, I don't see any Law Depot. I don't see any Law Depot. I asked you a question earlier. I said, I hope that you're bringing these, that the stuff that you're, wait a minute. I asked you a question, and I said, I hope that you are, you're sending me these papers and these cases and in support of you not having to drive with a license. And I hope that you've read the cases that you're using in support of what your belief of the law is and the Constitution and stuff. And I get this, and I've done it. You're not the first person that's done it. And the reason why I ask you, are you familiar with your African-American history, particularly the civil rights movement, is because you have submitted a case, Shuttlesworth versus the city of Birmingham. And you submitted this case in support of you not having to drive with a license. And it's kind of like throwing mud in Reverend Shuttlesworth's case, because Mr. Shuttleworth, I'm sure he was a reverend. I'm sure that Mr. Shuttleworth had a valid license and doesn't believe what you're trying to use this case law for. I wish you would have taken time to read what Reverend Shuttlesworth had to go through on this day, on April 12th, 1963, when he's trying to fight for our civil rights. Because I think if you would have read it, you would have seen that most of what you have put in here and all the cases that you have put in here are complete. A Shuttlesworth has nothing to do with what you're talking about. Any other case.
I understand that like I stated, Your Honor, that paper is not updated. That right there, I supposed to took that out. The Shuttleworth and through the Alabama. No, not Alabama. I supposed to have taken that out.
You're supposed to take all this stuff out because none of this stuff has anything to do with what you're talking about. None of it.
You read
actually, some of the cases are directly opposite, and they say that you have to have a valid license. The one with the wagon and the coach. What was that guy? He's in 1903. I forget the case. He's driving a coach. And he's got a car in 1903. He's got a car in 1903. He had big money. And he's driving his car up this dirt road and he's speeding. And they give him a ticket. And they say not that he doesn't have not to have a license. They just wanted to automatically revoke his license because he had a license without a hearing. And he's saying, you can't do that. I have to have a hearing before you're able to take my license from me. So he's not even saying what you say he's saying. So this stuff is
in Birmingham. I supposed to have took that out. Like I stated, I haven't updated that.
Well, you know something, I wish you would read this stuff before you even put it in this document, because that's what you're supposed to do. I can hold you in contempt for filing, filing this irrelevant stuff.
Do you get the law depot document 3?
I got the law depot document.
Okay, but basically that sums it up right there. That, like I said, that's not even updated paperwork. I sent that by mistake. That's why I sent the FRA paper. But that right there, I'm supposed to update that. But the law depot 3 document is 6 pages. The first 3 just tell you how to do the affidavit, which I forgot to do, but that refreshed my memory. And the last 3 pages is my court papers.
You know, I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody that's coming here with this, they didn't win. I'm gonna say that first, right? And then some of the people agreed with me and went to the Judicial Tenure Commission on me, and they quoted the same stuff, and guess what happened? They didn't win either. This stuff is nonsense. Stuff is nonsense. I'm waiting for you to tell me which court case applies, because if you have Shuttlesworth in here, and that absolutely doesn't apply. So what you're saying, I would like to just one court case, just show me one out of all this stuff that you've given me, one court case that you said applies.
Well, like I stated, Your Honor, that little paper always get people upset. That I send that one, but it hasn't been updated.
But you shouldn't send stuff that hasn't been updated to the court. But I'm just asking you one case. Tell me one case out of the stuff that you sent me that says it applies to you and your position of you not having to have a driver's license.
The law depot document 3. That's what I send in.
I know, and you're saying I'm asking you out of this law depot document 3. You have Howlett versus Rose, Boyd versus United States, Murdoch versus Penn, Owens versus Independence, People versus Bottle Traffic. You have another, constitutional articles. Tell me one of these cases that applies to your position that you don't have to have a valid driver's license to drive on the road. Give me one. Howlett versus Rose. Federal Supreme Court case applied to state court cases. My traveling documents, Supreme Court rulings, and the United States Constitution of travel is in this attachment and others not included have been stolen, sold, or to share. I don't know. Let's go with Howlett versus Rose. Let's see what that says. I got a few more minutes before I have to send everybody to lunch. I just want to know. I just want you to see how ridiculous this sounds. Let's go to the law depot document.
Yeah, probably you want to procedurally?
You have to speak up loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. Procedurally, do you want to give him a court-appointed attorney, and we come back?
You know something? I don't want to waste the resources on the court because Mr. Lynch is probably going to present this to the court-appointed attorney. I can ask him whether he wants to, but if he presents this stuff to the court-appointed attorney, then they're probably going to come down on the same.
I can go into court records and find cases where the case was dismissed with the same issues I'm in. I will find a case and I will present it to you.
And he did indicate he was having a problem retaining counsel because they wouldn't accept his paperwork. So.
Yeah, I see why. Howlett versus Rose. Rose was a case in which high school students sued the school board after his car was searched on school grounds and he was suspended from school. He sued under 42 USC 1983, which creates a remedy for violations of federal rights committed by persons acting under the color of state law. The student claimed he was suspended without due process because his car was searched in violation of the 4th and 14th Amendment. The court dismissed the complaint against the school board for lack of jurisdiction. Where does that say you don't have to have a valid license? Mr. Lynch, where does that say you don't have to have a valid license?
Your Honor, I will get up-to-date cases where court cases were dismissed with my same issue. I will get the court the up-to-date 2020 to 2024.
I believe it was a waste of time. What are we, 2 days of date concept trial?
Yes, sir. Do you want to take testimony right quick?
Do you want a trial, sir, or what do you want? I'm not. So you want a trial? We can take testimony now, or you can take the deal. This stuff that he's talking about that he's presenting to the court, yeah, I think it's a waste of time.
I go to trial.
Your Honor, he did make a FOIA request for the video and those things. I think they should be presented before he goes to trial.
Yeah, I'll give him that. He did. All right. He did. Let's give him. I sent you the FOIA request, Ms. Mason. He's written in there. He's got the case numbers down and stuff. Let's get him the documentation that he's asking for if it exists. And then let's go from there, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's set up a pre-trial date. Come back September the 9th, 2024 at 8:30. Please don't waste the court's time with, I hope you, first of all, 8:30, September 9th. I hope you read and review whatever you see on September 9th. I hope you read and review whatever you submit to the court. Purporting what you feel is supposed to be, and I hope it has at least some relevance to what we're talking about today, because the cases that I just read back to you have absolutely no relevance.
And procedurally, Your Honor, how are we to get the video to him?
He got an email address. I forwarded you a copy of that. It's in his email address. So I guess he should be able to, you should be able to forward that to him in an email.
It probably be too large. I just pick it up. I come down, pick it up.
Well, you're not going to be able to pick up unless they have a disc or something. You're not going to be able to just pick up. I don't know.
Can I just confirm your email address, Mr. Lynch, just for record? Thank you.
All right. So she'll get you that in an email, okay?
Yes.
All right. We'll come back on September the 9th, 2024 at 8:30. If there's nothing further, Mr. Lynch, have a very good day and best of luck to you.
You too. Thank you.
All right. That'll conclude the morning.
I have nothing to say about any of that. We're done. We've been going far too long as it is. This is like what, 30 or 45 minutes longer than I normally go. We're well into Saturday now. Everybody here needs to go have fun and enjoy the rest of your day. Court was awesome. Chat was amazing. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing some court with me on a Saturday. I do this every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Come back. I'll be doing it same bat time, same bat place. you'll probably have a lot of the same bat faces on Doc 2. Thank you for showing up, everybody. I'm your Lone Wolf Usul. I have been your curator and your presenter of these court cases for today. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Like today.